a minute to go here or something like that. And we got the last fighter for the first fighter pass. Now obviously we're getting a second fighter. Oh my god. Obviously we're getting a second one.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
9 AM, I'm crushing back a
We'll be
ginger ale.
using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter. Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide.
Oh, some heavy
The
shit's going
development
on
team
right
and
here.
other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy. Which means
Oh, man.
other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations
Oh,
for release
it's for
after
sure
the showcase
Sora.
has been broadcast. So, it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time. I think even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say,
Oh man,
wow,
this
really?
is gonna be some heavy shit. This is actually gonna be some heavy fucking
So,
shit. Oh,
let's
there
all
goes my
share in the
phone.
fun of getting our hands on the latest information.
Yo, he's actually about to
However,
drop a
even
bomb
if you
on
say,
us.
that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Oh man. Oh, it's Gino. Gino? Dante? That's my pick, it's Dante. My pick's always been Dante. Is it Sora? Oh no, what are they doing? Oh my god, what are they doing? Oh, what are they doing?
The time has finally
What are
come
you-
to
are you
unleash the
joking
forbidden
me?
spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
I just saw this cutscene like 2 days ago. Are you joking me?
What were you
Byleth?
thinking, charging right into an enemy's
The
trap?
waste-ass
As
fucking
you
main
and I are
hero.
one, I too am trapped within the
Oh
void.
my...
In time, our hearts and
It's not
minds will
actually
cease
waste,
to be.
it's like the most OP hero in the game.
Are you
but, like,
prepared to die?
everyone's heart
I
is
thought
just
as much.
shattered.
I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
This sucks.
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are
Oh,
you
man,
waiting
this-
for?
Oh. Oh, I lost so much interest.
So
Like,
joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself!
Oh, bro, this thing's hard. Edelgard, deconfirmed. All those motherfuckers. That's this one. Oh, yeah, this is hard. Oh, man. I mean, it doesn't suck. Obviously, it's got a lot of work put into it, I'm certain, but like...
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
They're dissing on us. Oh, go fuck yourself. They're putting in this character, too.
So that is how you plan to win the day?
The female as well.
So be
Yeah,
it.
of course.
I reward your cleverness this
Wow,
time.
man. What do you think about that? Byleth.
How is this?
What? What the fuck was that? Why is she getting the... Why is she getting the weapons of the three?
Oh,
Of anyone,
Oh,
you should be able to handle the
man.
hero's relics. With Areadbhar,
pretty cool.
strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power.
It's not Dante. Oh, fuck me.
Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction.
Oh, fuck me, buddy. This is so brutal. So many people.
Your
All
will
three
and
of the
mine be
main
now as one!
actual characters with personalities. Caught.
To you,
Done. No
both
plot,
sides
no
of time are
dimitri.
revealed!
That's my own fucking.
Through Smash!
No.
Show the
Byleth.
world!
Oh, we're getting the hero who's Wow, your very last hero, Fire Emblem Three Houses, is Byleth, the main protagonist. The third main protagonist in the Fire Emblem series. Oh, man.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually. In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry.
Man, I was really hyped, and I'll be honest, my hype.
First off, what is Fire Emblem?
When I saw Byleth, like another.
It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games.
Let's see here.
Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes.
Good God, this man.
But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again.
People are gonna be mad.
Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you. But a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned
Man,
again.
This is brutal. I
Scary.
hope we get Fire Emblem info though for the actual game. Like,
The
let's
game's
get some
stories are
proper
told like
DLC
chronicles
that I
of
can
war,
use.
with increasingly distinct characters in engrossing
Yoritza for
scenarios.
one path, and then like some costumes and some stuff. Like,
Several characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special.
watch them announce the first hero.
There's actually a
too
reason
as
for
well,
this.
because
When
they
I was
will
considering
be
how to
shitting
incorporate
bricks
Fire Emblem fighters
at the
into
fact
Super
that
Smash
another
Bros.
Fire
Melee, I
Emblem,
thought it might be interesting to reflect the
main
turn-based nature
characters
of the
joining
original
fucking
game.
Smash Bros.
First comes
You
your
have
opponent's
Robin,
turn. They attack and you
Corrin,
counter.
and
Next comes your
now
turn.
you got Byleth. I'll be
And
honest,
now,
I'm not
Fire Emblem
really
Three
supposed to.
Houses is the 17th game in the series.
I'll play as Byleth. I love the fire.
People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many?
Really hoping for Dante.
Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes,
But
but
whatever,
you don't
it looks
include the
pretty cool,
Satellaview
man.
game,
He's got
Tokyo
the
Mirage
bow,
Sessions
he's
Sharp
got the bow, the
FE,
lance,
and Fire
and
Emblem
the,
Warriors, then it comes out to
What
17
was the other
games.
one?
Let's try saying them
I
in
don't
the Fire
fucking know.
Emblem
Was it
Can
the
You Say It
axe? I
challenge.
think it was the axe.
I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、烈火の剣、聖魔の鉱
We're
石、
gonna get some like
草
meat
原の
fighter
奇跡、
skins, and then
暁
we're
の
gonna
女
get Devil
神、
May Cry.
新眼
Fuck
国
me.
流新紋章、覚醒イフヒーローズエコーズ風化説
No
There you
Lloyd
go,
Irving.
17.
Thank God they put out more heroes.
今変な数え方してます
So
ね
you
Was
saw
not a
how
fan
I
of
was
this
counting in a
DLC
weird
pass,
way,
to be
right?
honest.
I was counting in binary.
つまりこれが全部
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome, isn't it? You can actually count up to 31 on one hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023. If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go.
Drop the fucking skittle.
What is Fire Emblem Three Houses?
It's a game that doesn't want
In
to release
Japanese,
just
the male
DLC.
version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth.
I hate
Byleth
that.
becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic
What is a
houses.
Byleth?
Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life, and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release.
Sorry, I have my breakfast off to the side, but I'm not gonna fucking wait.
I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example.
Yo, people had
Because
their
I couldn't wait
expectations
until launch
so
to
high.
experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed
Master
an early
Chief,
version of the
Sora,
game for 2
Dante.
days, ran around all the
Shit like
areas,
that,
saw the
motherfuckers
ending,
shut
and
up.
realized for the first time,
And here we are
I guess we
getting
can't
another
really
Fire
have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter. I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference.
I went through the Blue Lion path.
The game has multiple routes, and the outcome for each is very different.
I think I'm pretty.
Your experience will vary
I've
depending
just
on the route
basically
you
hit the
choose,
5-year
and many of the
time
characters
skip
you
for
meet
the
will
year
adopt different roles in the story.
And then obviously I gotta do.
I'll try to avoid
Failnaught
spoilers
and
when I'm
fucking
talking
Early
about
as
the
well.
fighter. I hope you'll understand. Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version. As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes. Here I go.
Here I go. There you go.
So this is our new fighter,
Oh, look at this
Byleth.
glitch there.
Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon. The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default
like
weapon.
the spine
They
or
use it for
something?
flurry attacks and tilt attacks,
Bro, what
such as
the
down tilt
fuck?
attacks, where it takes the form of a whip.
Wow. Interesting.
They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves.
You're telling me this guy's going to
For their up
brawl
smash attack,
and duke it out? with
they'll
that
whip the
fucking
sword
gorgeous
upward to
name?
launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this. It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
Oh!
you can do awful things like this.
That is awful.
That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special.
Let me
Now
guess
for the
the weapons
sideways
break.
inputs. This is Areadbhar, the
What they
same
do in the
name as the
game.
weapon from Celtic mythology.
Areadbhar.
First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it.
Wow.
Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
Well, no, that's
Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
like nothing specific, but like this character, like
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful.
looks
The
like
shaft
it's
part
back
is
some
weaker,
shit.
so it's not suited to close combat.
Just get me a counter for
It won't
Raw.
deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward, or downward in this case. Next, the side special move.
I'm so sick of this song too.
Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it
Oh,
has
I'm
excellent
sick
reach.
of Fire Emblem. I played
For
too much
example,
of it.
even when your
I
opponent
need
is
to
at
move
this
on
distance,
already. I
it'll
have to
still
beat
hit.
the Golden Gear.
Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful.
So fucking whack.
Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power.
So this is a fairly heavy character.
And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
Oh, wow.
which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this. It's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed. Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area.
Oh,
It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack. Also, you can turn around during the move. The swing takes a
That's pretty
while,
nice.
so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective
What
when
was
used
the
against
axe
a group
named?
of
I forget
opponents.
what the axe was named.
Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little. It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them.
Oh,
By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter. Next, we have the neutral moves.
wow.
The bow you use is called Failnaught, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around.
It's like Simon.
It's also easy to create certain combos with it.
Fucking Piranha plant, I guess.
And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow.
Wow.
First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button. You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light. You can perform this move by keeping the button held down.
Okay.
You charge up power like
What's
so,
that?
charge a bit more, and then fire.
Bruh.
But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible. Once you've entered the stance, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sophist and launch an attack together.
Why should speak in Japanese?
ソティスが誰であるのか何なのかというのは原作で確認してみていただければと思います。
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house leaders.
Oh my god.
Those of you who've played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to.
That's crazy.
The sixth color is based on Sophist, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
まあこれは原作でということで。
Nice and slick Sakurai.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Areadbhar Monastery. This is how Areadbhar Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge,
What I hate
and
is a lot of the
cathedral all in
characters
one
this
stage.
game, I think they're like
It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four.
lack inspiration.
Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping.
Like they all just look like regular
The guests that
kids.
appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one. There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper.
Yes, a nice terribly
You often
designed
pass through this area
gatekeeper.
in Fire Emblem 3
Although,
houses,
I'm
and you
sure
end up
they
talking to
would
him a lot.
fix that.
Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building.
Edelgard, Petra, and Dorothea.
And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adrestian Empire, and as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
Like the boxing ring.
However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table. Like so.
You just gotta tell
Just
us
like
that.
the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range.
By God, he put
Next
him to a
up,
table!
the bridge. The camera rotates
Ref,
90
stop the
degrees,
damn match!
creating this long area. It's very wide indeed.
Oh. I'm making the main character marry that
It's
girl
similar
in
to
my
the
game.
Bridge of Elden stage.
Hilda.
The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance.
Gang, gang.
Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch.
Yes, sir.
Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap.
What about
The
Jamie
naming process must be tough.
and Brenda?
Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple.
That's cool. You don't actually
You can
see the
expect
Pegasus
plenty of
Knight
blows
doing
to be
that in
exchanged
Fire
at the
Emblem,
edges
so
of the
that's
screen.
dope.
You could also say it's a place where the Failnaught really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the
I
Golden
don't know
Deer
if this is
perfectly.
just what it looks like on my TV or this is early, but those trees look like they're just from Fire Emblem, bro. Like, this looks crazy. Where else do we go?
The last area is the Cathedral,
Really?
only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the Cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flayn might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes.
Oh god, here we go.
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker! And Hero! Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor gear. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on.
Good man.
It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad. Fennekin. I better keep my distance.
Don't let him send out that Fennekin, Masahiro.
I'll use
What are you
this
about to
chance
do
to
about
attack.
that Fennekin, bro?
Got him.
Not about to do shit.
That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch.
Oh my god.
Perfect shield at that, huh? Good one. I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh?
Ronaldo!
There, the soccer ball connected.
Robin and I go down.
Good, there's Mom. You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that.
Mom!
Gardevoir. Well, I
He has
guess
to
no one
rely
uses
on
projectiles.
Mom.
At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's
Not
there or
a
not.
grown man, Sakurai.
I feel like the enemy might get this smash ball. See? They got it. But I mustn't give up. I can't waste this chance. There's another smash ball. Yes, got it. Now! What are you charging up for?
That's a weird plug.
There's still more.
Excuse me, Final Smash.
Whack! Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although, I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him! I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
Oh yes, here we go. Let's see what we got.
Now, about the additional music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well.
All the music in the game.
We're also adding in a new spirit board.
I'll definitely use my amiibos to get the.
It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters.
Random battles. Oh wow. I definitely use my amiibo to get the.
Sothis is Legend class.
Like I listen to Eat.
Also, there's a new classic mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
Not losing that one.
Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Oh, here we go. Here's the Dante costume. Do we got Dimitri, Claude, and Edelgard? Bruce? Altair? Altair? Okay. Of course. That's so good. What the fuck? Give me the fat skin. Uh-oh, Mega Man. We got X. They took X out of the game? Wow. Okay. Did not even notice that. Oh! Mega Man.exe! No way! Oh, that is so cute! Cuphead joins Smash. It needed to be just that. Yo, that is so cool. I love it. I love it. I'll definitely be getting Cuphead and Altair. For sure. Hopefully those go live today. 28th. Ah, what are you gonna do?
This time we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called
It's just
Floral
like sand.
Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well.
That's it for
After
now.
purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it. And now, onto the amiibo.
Richter and Dark Samus.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it? Dark
Fucking
Samus and
amiibo.
Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th. And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete.
Wipe my hands
The
clean with this
lineup
game,
is
baby.
Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Byleth.
What do you think? There you have it.
From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there?
Yes, sir.
When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play.
I've definitely done that, for sure. This Byleth here is going to be messed up. Look, there it is dying.
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
5 more fighters. Six more.
Looks like there will be 1 more fighter than last time.
Oh, wow.
For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out. And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it. Furthermore, the new additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
Oh!
But I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume, but this time, here's what we have.
What Mii costume is it this time? Breath of the Wild Link?
It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Wow. Is that really necessary? Lastly.
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world. Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world. Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1.
I think that's it.
Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game,
It's
some
Super
sort of
Smash
celebration
Brothers.
of gaming or something else entirely.
Yeah, I would say so.
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters.
I told you.
The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, But it was decided that there will be more DLC, which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us.
Of course, of course.
That's it. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Sakurai. Well, that was pretty heat. Byleth. 3. You know, it actually came to mind. I was like, I'm fucking playing 3 houses. Is he mean 3? And I'm like, nah, there's no Fire Emblem character. And then the thought just left my mind forever. This is like 2 days ago when the announcement came out. And then I was just like, oh, that probably doesn't mean anything. He's just fucking, yeah, I got a nice presentation coming up. Making a fucking pose. Kawaii. But no. No. 3 houses. And there it goes. Well, that has been that. I hope you all enjoyed this incredibly underwhelming reaction. Unfortunately, I wanted to pop off because I thought I was finally getting my Dante, but whatever. 6 more fighters to go. 6 more fighters to go. We shall see. We shall see. On that note, I'm your boy. It's your boy. Yeah, I'm out. I'm chilling. I'm done.